Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Solo Sikoa has received a message from Jacob Fatu after the reunion of the OG bloodline. On SmackDown, Sami Zayn swerved the tribal chief and pledged his allegiance to Roman Reigns and the Usos. On the June 21st edition of SmackDown, Fatu debuted in WWE, attacking Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens on his first night in the company. On August 2nd, the night before SummerSlam 2024, Fatu and Tama Tonga won the WWE Tag Team Championships. However, Fatu was later forced to vacate his title and hand it to Tonga Loa. On Twitter/X, Fatu sent an 8-word message to Sikoa, expressing his love and gratitude for the tribal chief. Rikishi believes Jacob Fatu will betray Solo Sikoa. Rikishi made a bold prediction by claiming that Jacob Fatu would betray Solo Sikoa. Speaking on the Off the Top podcast, the real-life Bloodline member stated that Fatu would get himself over with the WWE Universe after turning on Sikoa. He said, "Jacob's going to snap one day on these guys, Bloodline. When they show his eyes, when they show his hands together, man, he's praying to Solo or he's just praying that he don't relapse. I don't mess this up with these cats right here. Once Jacob turns man, I think the Samoan werewolf is gonna have the whole arena just howling man." Since debuting in WWE, Fatu hasn't been pinned or submitted. His only loss in the company was at Bad Blood when Roman Reigns pinned Solo Sikoa in a high-stakes tag team match. Fatu will be in action at the upcoming War Games match at Survivor Series. WWE is yet to confirm the contest, but Reigns and Sikoa have verbally agreed to the bout. The air felt thick with tension as Solo Sikoa looked around the locker room, his mind racing with anticipation and an uncharacteristic touch of anxiety. A wave of mixed emotions swept over him since the OG Bloodline reunion, a move that had taken the WWE Universe by storm and sent shockwaves through the industry. The legacy of the Anoa'i family was well known, but seeing them join forces once more was a reminder of just how powerful the bond of family could be. Tonight, Solo was supposed to stand by his cousin, Roman Reigns, and the other key members of the Bloodline. It was a position he'd fought hard to attain, but recent events had stirred up memories and feelings he'd tried to bury. Then, just before he was set to walk out, his phone buzzed. It was a message from Jacob Fatu. They hadn't spoken in a while, not since the rift between the Bloodline factions had deepened, with Reigns staking his claim on one end and Jacob rising as a powerhouse in MLW on the other. The two men represented different paths of their family's legacy, but deep down, Solo knew they were cut from the same cloth. Opening the message, Solo's eyes locked onto 8 words that struck a chord he hadn't expected. The weight of those words settled heavily on his shoulders. Jacob's straightforward question was more than just a challenge, it was a call to choose where his true loyalty lay. His role in the Bloodline under Roman was clear: follow orders, back up the tribal chief, and prove his loyalty. But Jacob's words echoed something deeper, reminding Solo of the roots they shared that went beyond Roman's ambitions or the Bloodline's narrative on SmackDown. As he reread the message, the memories flooded back. He remembered training sessions with Jacob, the sweat, the laughter, the endless discussions about what their family meant. Jacob had always been a symbol of rebellion and freedom, blazing his own trail outside of WWE and becoming a dominant force. In contrast, Solo had chosen the path of loyalty, a loyalty that sometimes felt like a golden chain. As he made his way down the hall, the roar of the crowd grew louder. The Bloodline was about to make their entrance, with Roman Reigns leading the charge. Solo took his position beside his tribal chief, but he felt the weight of Jacob's message pressing down on him. Reigns turned to him, nodding with that authoritative confidence that only he could carry. But instead of nodding back, Solo found himself hesitating. His grip tightened on the kendo stick he was holding, his mind replaying the times he'd fought alongside his cousins, feeling unstoppable. But he couldn't shake the thought that his loyalty to Roman had cost him other family connections, like the bond he once shared with Jacob. The music hit, and Roman stepped forward, gesturing for Solo to follow. They entered the arena to thunderous applause, the crowd chanting, "Bloodline! Bloodline!" The energy was palpable, and for a moment, Solo felt the power of the group's unity. But as they made their way into the ring, the truth gnawed at him. Was he here because he believed in this bloodline vision, or was he merely a soldier following orders? Once inside, Roman began to speak about family honor, loyalty, and the unbreakable legacy of the bloodline. His words were captivating, drawing in every fan's attention, but Solo found his mind drifting. He glanced over the sea of faces in the crowd, as if somehow Jacob might be there, watching and waiting to see what choice he would make. Roman noticed Solo's distraction, and in a brief pause, he turned to his cousin, fixing him with a piercing stare. It was a silent demand, a challenge for Solo to remember his place and uphold the bloodline name. The crowd fell silent, sensing the tension between the two. In that moment, Solo felt the gravity of the choice before him. He could follow Roman, continue to be the soldier his cousin expected, or he could honor Jacob's challenge and embrace the role of true family, one not bound by hierarchy but by genuine connection. As the silence grew, Solo stepped forward, taking the mic from Roman. He looked out at the crowd, then back to his cousin. "Jacob Fatu once asked me a question," he began, voice steady but filled with conviction. He asked, "Are you a soldier, or are you family?" The crowd murmured, surprised by Solo's unexpected declaration. Roman's eyes narrowed, a hint of anger flashing across his face as he realized Solo was publicly questioning his loyalty. Solo continued, his gaze never wavering. "I've been loyal, Roman. I've stood by your side. But family means something deeper than just following orders. It means respect. It means honesty. It means supporting each other without conditions." The crowd erupted, sensing the defiance in his words. Solo could feel the tension rising, but he knew this was a moment that had been brewing for a long time. The question Jacob had asked him had unlocked a truth he couldn't ignore. Roman stepped forward, his face dark with barely contained anger. "What are you saying, Solo?" he growled, his voice dripping with intimidation. Solo didn't back down. "I'm saying that family isn't just about loyalty to one man. It's about loyalty to all of us. And maybe we've forgotten what that means." A tense silence followed, each second stretching as Roman and Solo faced off. It was clear to everyone in the arena that something had changed within Solo, a resolve he hadn't shown before, a loyalty that transcended Roman's control. In that moment, Roman raised his hand, as if signaling a response. But instead of striking, he simply lowered it, acknowledging the strength Solo had shown. With a nod, he stepped back, the faintest hint of respect visible in his eyes.